All right, guys. So there's a lot of seduction strategies that coaches teach you guys that work and others that are complete shit. And it's hard to differentiate which one's better because everyone says that their strategy is the best. But guys, I've coached guys. Guys have told me what works and doesn't work. And so today I'm going to be ranking you based on how effective it was for my clients and for myself to improve your relationship with women, to be able to attract the type of women you like, to be able to attract women you find attractive. People, there's nothing worse than being with someone who you don't find attractive. So let me help you and streamline to you the seduction skills that every man should master and rank them from S tier to basura tier, which is D tier. Okay. Actually, we're gonna do one thing here. We're gonna add one. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. So let's rank them, and hopefully you guys agree with this. And if you don't, then let me know in the comment section below. So the first skill is let's find out. Let's find out learning. All right, a cool personal style. Okay. This is all about knowing how to dress well. In my opinion, I think I have a pretty nice personal style because it reflects my personality. You could look at the way I dress and kind of sense how my personality is, my belief systems, how I view the world. And so your personal style should be something that reflects you. But the problem is that in order to have your personal style, you have to not give a fuck what people think about you, right? So a man with a nice personal style, like a woman, if a woman sees you and you're nicely dressed, anyone you naturally assume that someone is important if they have a nice style. Like you assume there's someone. Like have you seen people that you see and you're like, they look famous? Well, usually it's because of their style. All right. So if you have that basic ass Brett Favre looking ass type of way of dressing, you're not really going to stand out. So I put this at B tier. It's not A tier. It's not going to make a woman say, oh my God, he's so hot. But it's something that adds to what you already have. The next one is social game. I give social game S tier. The way women hook up with men long term is meeting them through their friends and family. The more you know her friends, the higher likelihood she is to like you, plain and simple. The best types of women to get in your life are women you meet through social game, like meeting people in a social situation where you see them repeatedly at parties and stuff like that, where they know people that you know. This is how you build a reputation. When I say social game, I'm also talking about where people know you and know you as a cool person. Social game literally is the most important. If you are not a social person, this is what I tell people. Having friends and making friends is a way better strategy to meet women that you find attractive than meeting women. Why? Because knowing friends increases the network of the women that you meet. It's not that having friends makes you attractive, but that just knowing, which increases the capacity to meet women, that is literally the best way to do that. Okay. If there's a route, I'd rather you guys focus on making friends. I could make a video about how to make friends and a tier list, the best strategies to make friends. But yeah, social game. So the next one is the art of being indirect, knowing how to approach a woman indirectly and knowing how to attract and keep women using this strategy. In my opinion, if you're going to do social game, you got to know how to do indirect game. And indirect game is basically knowing how to flirt with a woman without being exactly flirty, right? Indirectly, or just knowing the fact that if a woman knows you and she sees you often, every time she sees you, there's a higher likelihood that she might like you simply because of the mere exposure effect. The more you see something, the more comfortable you are and the more attracted you are to it in its absence, right? So that's really a powerful thing. If you only rely on being direct, you're not smooth, my man. The next one is knowing her strengths and weaknesses. Knowing a woman's strength and weaknesses is really important because you got to cater what you say to her based on her strengths and weaknesses. If you don't know how to read a woman's strengths and weaknesses, you're never really going to get to know her. And you can never really seduce her because you don't know what she's good at. You don't know her weaknesses. It's important. Maybe she's weak for guys who are romantic. Maybe she's weak for guys who pay attention to detail, right? Or maybe she's weak for words where you just have to tell her what she wants to hear and she falls for you. Like it matters knowing what a woman is weak for or what the woman resists. Maybe you know, like for example, if I date a girl and I know she doesn't go after dark skinned guys, I don't go after them. You got to know, like, you kind of can sense when you're a person's type and just go for people who consider you their type. Like, I don't fuck with people who I'm not their type. I'm not, like, why would I put myself through that? You know what I mean? So the next one, so I'm going to put this in A tier, in my opinion. Emotional intelligence, S tier. Emotional intelligence is how you don't end up on child support. Emotional intelligence is how you could eventually make a girl like you long term. Emotional intelligence is what allows you to not be a fucking creep. If you don't have emotional intelligence, eventually you're gonna do creepy shit. And the word will get around that you don't know how to read the room. You're always creating awkward situations for everyone, including myself. A guy who's emotionally dumb is a guy who can't control his emotions, is a guy who can't notice when they're wrong, is a guy that can't admit when they're wrong, is a guy that cannot keep a woman long term because you're just unaware. And unfortunately, a lot of guys who have autism struggle with this. The next one is, let me see, sense of humor. Again, I'm gonna put this in C tier. It's controversial, but you don't have to be funny. The only time you're funny to a woman is when she likes you. So being funny, like people who are funny, it really doesn't add to it. It's only when she likes you, then you're funny. And because of that, you think that being funny makes her like you when in reality, she already liked you. I'm telling you, a woman laughs because she's reacting to your value. When you're not funny, when she doesn't find you attractive, you're not funny. Like studies show that attractive comedians get more laughs. Like literally because you're attractive. The next one is the art of timing. Knowing how to make women wait, right? The art of timing. In my opinion, the art of timing is S tier. It's all about timing. Knowing when to pull away, knowing when to ask her out, knowing when to not do nothing, knowing when to go for the move, knowing when to kiss her. Like all timing is everything, bro. Like if you have horrible timing, you're gonna do some creepy shit. I can promise you that. The next one is knowing how to listen. A lot of the times when you're so insecure, when you're trying to tell her that pickup line or that routine where you're projecting your own insecurities, you're thinking about what to say next, or you're so nervous, you stop listening. A woman can sense that because your nonverbal cues are not going to be congruent with what she's saying and the mood. And you're just going to feel socially off. And above all, you're going to talk a lot as a way to overcompensate with the lack of conversational skills. Sometimes it's not about what you say. It's all about when you choose to shut the fuck up and just listen to what she says. So if man, like I'm telling you, you don't have to listen. I'll be honest with you. I said that a lot right now, but I'm gonna put that in B tier. Because sometimes a woman sees you and she already decides she's gonna fuck you no matter how bad of a listener you are. So listening to a woman, it does matter long term. But if a guy's just trying to meet a woman, hook up with her, then you just have to she just have to find you attractive, you not be creepy, and listening, you could do that on the second date. And fuck that shit. We'll put it in this A tier, man. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't let's put this A tier because it's eventually all of the concourse that you have are going to be short term, and they're never really going to last long term. So I prefer that you have good listening skills. Next one is your masculine frame. Is your ability to come across masculine and not come across as a little bitch, right? Come across as though you know what you're doing, as though you're confident. So we put in this in S tier. The next one is being able to surprise her. Being able to, and this comes down to knowing her strengths and weaknesses. Once you know a person's strengths and weaknesses, then you could tailor surprises, gifts, occasions, moments, dates based on her or what she likes. And if you implement surprise, with the moment of surprise allows people to feel new emotions. And so because of that, in my opinion, it's S tier. What the fuck? Everything is S tier. How to dress. Well, it's already personal style. We were gonna put that here. The next one is remembering little things. It's to remember the little things is truly to make a woman fall in love with you. And so it's not necessary if you're just trying to seduce a woman. Remembering the little things is all about making a woman fall in love with you long term. But to seduce a woman, you don't have to remember the little things. It's a plus. Like in fact, it's something that happens naturally as you fall in love. So because of that, we're putting this in B tier. The next one is taking rejection without taking it personal. In my opinion, that's fucking S tier to the T, because if you don't take rejection the right way, what will eventually happen, you will develop a personality that is the scar tissue of your rejection. You develop a personality that's afraid to get rejected because you're always getting rejected. And that you almost like create a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? The next one is integrating your feminine side. It's not necessary to integrate your feminine side. Some women um, like have a taste for guys without feminine flair per se. So because of that, we put in this in S tier. But the reason why I put in this in S tier is because it doesn't hurt you that bad. I mean C tier. But when you do integrate your feminine, bro, it's like a fucking kamehameha, like Kaioken times two. It doesn't break you, but if you embrace it, holy shit, my nigga. Like you want to be able to have a feminine side to your personality. The next one is being able to walk away. Fuck that. S tier. Patience. S tier, because women will test your patience. Um, move that one. Telling them what they want to hear, in my opinion, is A tier. Because even if you lie to, even if you tell them what they don't want to hear, a woman can admire that and find that attractive. So the next one is agreeing with her, right? Making her feel like validating her self opinion. It depends, because long term, making her feel like she is changing the way you view the world, that is really seductive. She says this, she likes this type of food, and then she finds you eating it, and then she notices that now you're cooking the food that she likes because she convinced you. Like it's very flattering. It's like when somebody recommends you a song and then they listen to that whole song, and then they listen to that artist, and then you're like, I got you on that, huh? That's me. I did that shit. People like it when they're able to influence you. So, but not agreeing with them when you're on a date with them, where everything they say it's a yes. Actually, that's fucking D tier. In fact, I prefer you disagree with her. In fact, disagreeing, we're putting this in A tier, in my opinion. Disagreeing is showing that you have your own personal opinions. One of the suspicions that women have is that you're not being genuine. One of the ways is to show that you're genuine is just to disagree with her, right? Okay. Ooh, no, we can't move this, right? No, we can't move this. All right. Okay, there you go. Right. All right. The next one is right here. Oh shit. Okay. The next one is cute nicknames. Calling her, the fuck is this? D tier. What the hell? Being nice. D tier. Teasing her. It's very good at teaser. Shows that you're playful, but you don't want to do it too much because a lot of you guys are not funny. A lot of you guys don't know how to tease. You'll say, I was honestly, I'm gonna say this. I was stupid when I was younger. I remember one time. I'm gonna give you guys how dumb I was. Right. God, how stupid I was. This girl, she was like, she liked me. She fucking liked me. And she was like, oh my God, that's crazy. She was, she said something, and I tried to tease her. I was like, oh wow, I said something. Is that how your friends are? Like something stupid about her friends, and then she was like, no, they're not. Don't say that about my friends. Like I said something insulting about her friends. I was trying to tease her, but I didn't know that you can't insult people's friends in a playful way, you idiot. So it's kind of like when it comes to teasing people, you got to make sure that you're naturally a funny person, or else you're gonna do dumb things like I did. Gifts. No, not gifts. That's not how to use seduce her. You could give her a flower. It's actually flattering, especially if you don't come across as a dweeb. Give her a flower. Don't give her a flower if you already come across as a dweeb. But gifts is only good long term, right? As a friend or even as somebody that you like. Um, The next one is controlling your libido. Controlling your libido is A tier, in my opinion. You gotta be able to control your dick. Okay. Because if you don't control it, you'll get played and manipulated. Women can manipulate men by controlling their libido. And the next one is touching her. It's not necessary. In fact, I would prefer that you don't touch her. I will put B tier. Let her touch you. Honestly, it's much better for you to stand back and let her touch you. You could go for the kiss. That's nothing wrong. But touching, let her initiate the touch. If you let her initiate the touch, then you could touch. But let her do that. It'll show you how attractive she is. Okay. Anyway, so this is the tiers, man. Most important one, social game, being indirect, emotional intelligence, the art of timing, masculine frame, patience, being willing to walk away, taking rejection without being personal, and surprising her, knowing how to be spontaneous, all right? The worst one, agreeing with her, cute nicknames, and being nice to her people. Stop that shit, man. You're going to turn them off. Let me know what other tier lists I should make next, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.